St. Mary's Church in Newport, Rhode Island holds a special place in the history of the state and also in the cultural fabric of the unique tapestry of American history. Constructed in 1852 by Irish laborers who longed for a parish of their own, St. Mary's has been the house of worship for generations of Newport families, a center of celebration for the countless number of guests, and a place of reflection for those who sit in its pews and admire the timeless beauty of the architecture. A not-so-silent sentinel that has watched generations come and go and offered St. Mary's a unique voice that has bridged the passage of time is the church's 60-year-old Casavant pipe organ, the last of its kind.
St. Mary's pipe organ was custom designed and built by Casavant in 1957 and 1958. Casavant was founded in the late 19th century under a certain set of tonal principles. All of the organs they've built from the time they were founded up until 1958, the year our organ was installed, were following this original set of tonal principles. And our organ was one of the very last organs, if not the last organ, that was built by Casavant under that original tonal philosophy. It's the last of its kind, and it has never been altered. The sound of the organ has never been manipulated to a different style.
This unique instrument fell silent in 2016 when it left its post for an unprecedented restoration project that would give it new life and would allow it to offer up its voice in celebration for generations to come.
Unfortunately, the physical design of our organ is not nearly to the par of the musical design. There are structural issues. The visual design of the organ has really nothing to do with the Gothic architecture of St. Mary's Church. And the physical design also is, the organ is very deep from front to back, so it takes up a very large amount of floor space in our choir loft, which really limits what we're able to do with our choirs.
On a sun-drenched morning in early April 2017, almost a year after the organ was meticulously disassembled, it returned to Newport in 30,000 individual pieces, ready to be reassembled and resume its role. The 1900 pipe organ had been transported from Rhode Island to Quebec, Canada by its original builders, the Casavant Frères Company. There, the Frères refurbished the organ using historic techniques to create the original unique sound and quality that it produced in 1958. The rehabilitation took 8 months, during which the 200-year-old choir loft that housed the organ at St. Mary's was also restored. That renovation allowed for the Gothic stained glass windows to receive better presentation and also revealed hidden architecture within the church that had been forgotten to time.
We're taking all of the wonderful pipes built by Casavant with these original tonal principles, restoring them to their original splendor, and the physical apparatus of the organ we are replacing with a new structure which will be sensitive to our needs in terms of space, and a new facade which will be sensitive to the architecture of the building. So we'll still have that same historic sound, better than ever, but with a new facade and a new case which is conducive to our practical needs for our music ministry and which complements the architecture of St. Mary's Church.
So a lot of the parts that are coming back are actually parts from the old organ that have been restored, and you can tell they're kind of old, but there's nothing wrong with them. But these show the color of what the organ was before, more or less. And if you look at any of the other woodwork in this church, it's certainly not that color. So the facade is coming down in about 2 weeks, and we have this new stain which matches the pews and all of the other woodworking in the church. So we're really excited for the organ finally to be a part of the architecture of this church rather than an intrusion.
What is the C pipe? Is that a larger one?
It's inside, yeah, it's the bigger one. The C pipe is always the biggest. Every time you switch an octave, you get double higher.
Okay.
So the principal might be 4 feet.
Yeah.
1 octave lower, you get 8 feet.
Okay.
And Lower again, you get 16, and you can go like this until 64 feet, the biggest in the world.
Oh.
64 feet is in Germany.
The instrument's components were delicately hoisted up to the choir loft, and soon the organ began to take shape. After the assembly was complete, Casavant voicers precisely tuned each note to the specific space and acoustics of St. Mary's so that it would sound just as it did in 1958, if not better. Combined, these elements helped to re-cement the organ as not just a resident of St. Mary's, but a fundamental part of the church, as at home there as the pews, the altar, the windows, and the bricks of the foundation. The organ itself is a combination of art, music, and history. Its complexity, sound, and design are a testament to the vision of its creators, the talent of the musicians who have played upon it, and the voices joined in harmony that help its song endure.